So apparently a girl going to university wrote a paper about gender and she didn't use the term cisgender. She used the term biological woman and got a zero. A zero. This white girl says she got a zero. Let's listen to what she got to say.
A zero on a project proposal in my class because I used the term biological women, which is apparently not allowed anymore. She even said it was a good project proposal, but I got a zero because I used this term as exclusionary and not allowed.
Let's see what it says. Olivia, this is a solid proposal. However, the terms biological woman biological women are exclusionary and are not allowed in this course as they further reinforce heteronormativity. Isn't heteronormativity about sexual about your sexual orientation? Wouldn't that be cis normativity? Bruh, what kind of world are we living in where we don't accept and realize that cis normativity and heteronormativity are not only normal, okay, but important for the maintaining of our society, our species, and just the order of our communities? What is happening? Like, I'm not some super uber conservative, but like, why are we fighting these ridiculous battles? Like, obviously the majority of humans are hetero. Obviously the majority of humans are cisgender. Why is that a bad narrative? It's a statistical fact.
Allowed anymore, so. And I 100% know that this is like the most biased grade ever because my project is about transgenders competing in biological women's sports. How am I supposed to do my final project if I can't use the word biological women? But that's what my project is about.
Bruh, see,
I got a zero on a project proposal in my class.
See, this is the problem. See, this is the issue with society we got now. This white girl's making a project about trans women competing in cis women's sports. She uses the term biological women and gets a zero. It is a fact that there is such a thing as biological women and trans women. It's not a slur to say that someone is a transgender or a trans woman. It is just a fact of life. There are biological men, biological women. Are there people that are intersex? Of course, but those people it doesn't change the fact that there are biological men and biological women. And look, I'm a liberal. I'm all in support of trans rights. But we got to start living in reality, because trying to bend the reality of the world we live in is not helping trans people. It is not. Giving someone a zero because they said biological women and calling it the promotion of cis normativity is ridiculous, because the majority of humans are cis. They identify with their sex at birth. That is a statistical fact of the human species. Just like it is a statistical fact that humans are, for the most part, hetero and not gay or bi. It is a fact. It doesn't invalidate the humanity, the rights, the right to pursue happiness that belongs to LGBTQ people, but you're not helping the rights and the freedom and the liberties of LGBTQ people by trying to bend reality to something that does not exist for the sake of trying to promote the rights of LGBTQ people. You're not helping. People are so much more anti-trans than ever before. People are so much more irritable about this topic than ever before because you got people bending reality to suit their narrative. It's just the facts. Like, to give a chick a zero because she said biological women. There is such a thing as biological women. It is true. It's not just about your genitalia, it's also about your chromosomes, right? There are multiple things that go into making someone a biological woman, but this is a fact of life. It is a fact of life. Are there intersex people? Yes. Is intersex a common thing in humanity? No. No, 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 no. So let's not undo the reality of what we know to be true. Humans are a species that contains two genders. Right? Are there some people who are transgender? Yes. Are we going to make their lives a living hell because of that? No. Are there some people who are intersex? Yes. Are we going to ignore the reality of our species because of that? No. Why are we entertaining fantasy? Why? Now you got some people they're saying, well, biological women is not the scientific term that's supposed to be used. It's still the same thing. It is the exact same thing. What are we talking about here? It's not a slur. It's not like she used a slur. She used a factual term. The reason and this is my opinion, The reason why they're upset about people using the term biological woman is because it's completely based in fact. It doesn't allow for confusion and obfuscation and chaos like cisgendered women. Biological woman is just a fact. I'm sorry if some people feel like it invalidates the reality of trans women, but I'm sorry. There is a difference. I'm really not sorry. There is a difference between trans women and biological women. This is the reason why Leah Thomas can go into a swim team full of chicks and destroy and ruin all of their dreams, because he is tall as fuck with long arms, broad shoulders. He experienced male puberty. He is in no way, shape, or form the same as a biological woman with wide hips, narrow shoulders, short ass arms, fucking tiny little wrists, tiny little muscles, tiny little joints, thin bones. The idea that that is the same thing is delusional. Trying to sit there and say that it's exclusionary is delusional. This is reality. Let's live in it. To give this chick a 0 because she told the truth is crazy. And we're living in a world where people are sitting there, women who for the majority of human history have been oppressed, are finally able to compete in sports within their own divisions, fight for their own championships to become the champion. And here they go with their entire dreams being ruined by people who have gone through male puberty. And we're supposed to sit there and just act like they're the same as biological women, because it's exclusionary to call them it's exclusionary to call biological women biological women. It's exclusionary to call them that. You know what else feels exclusionary? Going to a race as a swimmer and losing because someone has the biological advantage of being a male over you. That feels quite exclusionary, I bet. I bet all those chicks who all collectively lost, knowing that they lost because of biological reasons, all feel like shit. I bet. But we're going to sit here and live in a fantasy world to entertain delusions. I'm never going to ever advocate for the bullying and harassment of trans people in any way, shape, or form, because these are just people who want to live their lives in peace. But when we start trying to bend reality, we are not helping trans people, we are not helping our kids, and we are not helping society. What are we doing? There are trans women, and then there are biological women. I could understand if she said real women, which is still true. Okay, maybe if she said real women, you give her 5 points off. But a 0 for saying biological women? And we got folks in student debt over this dumbass shit. We got people in student debt over this. And we sit here and act like gender and sex are somehow or another not connected. Oh, cisgender people, cisgender. As if the sex of the person has nothing to do with it at all. Gender and sex are correlated. The idea that you could just sit there and say that they're not correlated, they're not the same thing, is ridiculous. We have formed and created gender roles based on the biology of men and women. Y'all think we fill platoons of riflemen up with men for no reason? You think the government doesn't know that a platoon of 40, 50 dudes and a platoon of 40, 50 women are going to have a completely different level of physical and mental performance in an actual war? You think they don't know that? You think we as a species have designated these gender roles in a vacuum? You think we just made it all up? It's, oh, gender has nothing to do with sex. It very much does. Completely does. Completely does. We're living in a delusion. Cisgender. As if that even apply, like gender has nothing to do with women competing. Trans women and biological women competing in a sport. The word gender shouldn't even be involved in that. Because we're talking about like cisgender has, because obviously in the realm of what y'all are trying to argue, that gender and sex have nothing to do with each other. Gender is how you express yourself and sex is your physical traits. Okay, let's remove gender from the conversation. Why are we even using the term cisgender? Let's use biological women, because the biology of these competitors in this sport matters. We got somebody who's gone through male puberty, big old broad shoulders, thick joints, thick bones, possibly better built muscles than all the other women in the sport, competing against women with small joints, thin bones, small muscles, narrow shoulders, possibly even short, more than likely even shorter arms, shorter in height. To sit there and act like the biology of those in this competition don't matter is crazy to me. Where are we going as a society, bro? All in all, bro, I can't believe folks are paying thousands of dollars out of their pocket, going into debt to secure an education from psychotic people. A 0. If you gave me 5 points off, maybe we could talk it out. But you gave me a 0, you gonna see me. You gonna see me. Believe that. You give me a 0 over some shit like that, you finna see me. You're not just gonna give me a 0 over something just ridiculous and think that I'm just gonna sit there and take the L. You got the wrong one, bro. Hundreds of thousands, like $20,000-$30,000 in debt, possibly even hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and you want me to take that L all on the altar of your ideology. She didn't use a slur, she used a scientific fact. There are biological women and then biological men. Biological women and then there are biological men. There are trans women, trans men, what is the word, intersex people or whatever. Like, these things all exist, but biological women are a reality. Women need to stop running with this shit. It boggles my mind when biological women embrace this stupidity. Y'all do realize we as men lose nothing from this, right? We lose nothing. They're making it easier for people who have a biological advantage over y'all to come into your spaces and ruin your dreams. We don't lose here. We have no dog in the fight. Y'all do. We have nothing to lose. We got nothing to lose at all. We have nothing to lose here. Men are sticking their necks out trying to fight against this shit. We got women in the comment section talking about some, you don't understand the difference between sex and gender. This is an exclusionary term. Like, you can't help this shit, bro. You can't save this shit. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. This world is going into hell. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.